This is my second time doing this video, so I hope you all appreciate it. I spent 8 to 10 minutes last night doing this and found out I didn't hit the record button. And I said, you know what, it's late and I'm tired, I'm going home. What I want to talk to you about is our 20,000 bushel grain bin. Put it in 2 years ago, in 15. Sounds right. This is a drying bin. What makes it a drying bin is the fact that it's got the grain serrators in it with the 3 augers. And I'd climb in and talk to you about it, but all you're gonna hear is me echoing, or my voice echoing in there. Because what those serrators do, when the bin gets full, you fill it full of corn or I guess beans if you wanted to, but mainly for corn. That serrator runs those 3 augers around the bin. They run around the bin while the augers are running back and forth on that I-beam. And what that does is, the pattern is that it actually goes through and it covers all the corn that's in there, and it's bringing up the dry corn that's on the bottom, and it's bringing the dry corn to the top, and it's allowing the wet corn to kind of settle down. And that way you're getting a thorough, or an even thorough dry down of the corn throughout the bin. This is a drying fan. Say what makes it so special is because the burn unit on here, and I guess I can't really show you. There's a burner in here, so that the fan pulls in air through the burner. The burner once it goes through the burner, it goes in underneath the bottom of the bin, and there's a bunch of, all the floor slats all have perforations in it, and it allows the warm air to go up through the corn. Now another characteristic of this bin, which basically we told Dad, Ryan and I ganged up on Dad and told him there's no way he's building this bin unless he springs money for it. That's actually the power sweep. That's what that is in there. And what that is, that's an auger arm that once you engage it, says it automatically, from the pressure of it running, it runs through and it keeps pressure against the corn, the pile of corn that's in there, and you get a thorough clean out of all the corn that's in here, except for maybe 1 or 2 kernels of corn thick, like a really thin layer. And it really saves on your back as far as getting this bin cleaned out. Say, my mom and Brittany actually went through and cleaned it up last time because I was cultivating that night. But the power sweep, there's a wheel on the end of it. I know I'm probably moving you guys back and forth too much, but what that wheel does, that wheel constantly moves, it rotates with the auger. So as the corn is being fed out, that auger is going to gradually progress around the bin. And word of the wise, general farm safety is never be in there when that's running, because that spins like a top when that is engaged, when this bin gets empty. But what you do, we got 3 little doors here. Once the center of the bin is emptied out and the corn can no longer flow into it, you open up one of these intermediate doors, and then the corn over top of them will drop out over top all 3 of these doors. And you're supposed to, when you fill it, have the sweep arm over top of it, so that way you don't have to dig it out with the shovel, unlike I did this last time when I had the sweep arm more in front, too far in front of the door, so the corn all the pressure of the corn didn't get off it, and it started burning the belt when I engaged the sweep arm. But lessons learned, right? But yeah, that sweep, it was extra, but it's a lot better than the manual one that we have in our smaller bin, because then you have to be in there and you have to push it around consistently, and you gotta be in there and breathe that dust and everything. But Another great characteristic of this 20,000 bushel bin is the truck and loading auger. Just like I got a yellow dog. Calvin, come here. Calvin. And what makes this so nice is that in the dead of winter, this is the biggest unloading auger we could get on it. That's what Dad requested. Because in the dead of winter, when we're selling corn, or if we sell corn in the dead of winter, it says all the truck has to do, as long as the snow is cleaned up through here and the wind's gonna start picking up. But all we gotta do is call our truck driver and he'll show up, backs underneath it, and he can pull out a load of corn. He can be loaded in about 20 minutes. It also works great for when we're selling with our gravity box or gravity wagon, because then we're just, all we have to do is pull underneath it and load up, and it only takes like 10 minutes to get a full load of corn out of it with that gravity box. Whew. It's hot and humid out today. But it saves us the wear and tear on our tractor and auger, having to get it out all the time. And you say it's, all you gotta do is throw a switch and we can load corn out of it, as opposed to having to get the tractor hooked up, the grain auger hooked up, and actually have to have somebody here watch it with the truck driver, because you can get everything shut off and run out properly. Say ideally, this is our first bin we've built in probably 15 years when we built this 20,000 bushel. Now the goal is to eventually have enough on-farm storage that we don't have to sell any of our corn in the fall. Beans, that's a different story. So generally we try to get those moved out, generally. This corn's a little bit easier to store. But we'd like to have enough on-farm storage in the fall so we don't have to sell anything in the fall. And then gradually throughout the year, sell a few loads throughout 12 months back to harvest. It gives us a little bit more flexibility as far as marketing our crop. It potentially get a better average for our grain, as opposed to having to panic sell or just have to sell it for the price we have to, like in the fall, because we don't have enough storage in these. Another 30,000 bushel bin would be ideal, or a 30,000 bushel bin. Because right now we got a 10, a 2, and a 20. And I tell you what, a 30, if I got to build it, this is probably what I'd like to put in myself. Because I'm in the same boat as my dad. I'd like to be able to store as much as I could. But that's this little story. I actually have to run up and get parts. The storm's coming back in. That's the beginning of our grain storage setup. Say that is earmarked. We got a bunch of plans meant for that just down the road. We just got to get there. But take care, take it easy, stay dry. Those of you that are getting the severe storms here lately, I'll talk to you later.